You want me to take it? I thought it was funny. Hey friend, it's the happiest day of the week, Hat Pick Day, where we take a look at the best from around the NHL over the past week. And some from last week that we missed. St. Louis Blues fans, I'm sorry, we did it again! Here's the problem, you're probably like, Steve doesn't think about the Blues! That's not true, I think too much about the Views. And yes, producer Drew, I am going to talk about my fantasy team again. Yes, I am! Stop it! No, stop! It's relevant information! Don't tell me I don't think about the Blues. I have Barbashev, Thomas, and Kyrou. Dude, my team sucks, but I'm like 5-1 since I got Kyrou. He's unreal. Anyway, they did something for the first time ever, and we just missed it. And I especially shouldn't have missed it because I actually had Braden Holtby in fantasy. It's relevant! Producer Drew helped me out with this one. I actually got to read it. This is the first time in St. Louis Blues history that they won a game in regulation that they were trailing with less than a minute to go. As in, heading into the last minute of this game, the St. Louis Blues were losing, but then they scored 2 goals with less than a minute to go to tie and take the lead in the game before the game even had a chance to go to overtime.
In front to O'Reilly. Mad scramble. A shot wide. O'Reilly. He scores. The captain has tied the game. Unbelievable.
In the corner. After the Blues have a lot of territorial advantage right there, they don't get anything on the net. There's going to be a delayed minor penalty against the Dallas Stars, but instead Ryan O'Reilly bangs it home right on the doorstep after Braden Shen was there with that puck actively coming off the end boards, and look at the reaction of the Blues bench.
And the Blues get it back in the goal books. Davidge now to Kyrou in front. They score! Kyrou bangs it in! And the Blues, another power play goal!
Holy jumping! The same turn of events that happened at Dallas yesterday afternoon against Pittsburgh. The Blues have turned the tide. Bending but never breaking in this game. And back-to-back power play goals. 28 seconds left to go in the game. A battle in the corner. Hakanpää pokes it around. It goes right to Kyrou. Kyrou plays it in front of the net. It goes off the Dallas Stars player and in the net. Keep our eye on the front of the net right here. Hakanpää's skate, shin pad, and into the net. No chance for Holtby.
2 goals in 18 seconds.
Not only is this St. Louis Blues history, but it's a little bit of NHL history. This is only the 11th time in NHL history this has happened. You can look at it as a dang it from the Stars on account of, there was a missed penalty call. Rick Bowness was very upset, slamming a stick, and he ended up getting a little fine out of that. And you could, but I'm making the call to make this a hat pick for the St. Louis Blues. They deserve it. What a comeback. And the other one we missed last week, if you're a goaltender, tend the goal, and if you're a center, also tend the goal sometimes.
Think about it. We'll get to it a little later on as this telecast unfolds. Kuznetsov, great move. Off the deke. Oh, Bergeron playing goalie there at the post.
Unbelievable. And Smith, he's always been a gunslinger. There's the turnover. Here's Kuzi. Allmark totally out of position. Here comes Bergeron. What a save by the captain.
Patrice Bergeron, you haunt my nightmares, but you're so dreamy. But leave it in. Leave it in. That's a hat pick. Leave it in. Don't you delete it. All right, moving on to this week, the Blues get a little bit more attention again. Retirement ceremonies, am I right? Usually, when you hear about them, you're like, oh, that's really cool. And they show the video pack, and you're like, oh, that's really cool. But a lot of the times, they start talking, and you're like, oh, it's less cool now. Chris Pronger made his cool. But Chris Pronger did his retirement speech right, because he's retiring the way I want to retire, slamming beers.
And to you all, not yet, not yet. From booze to cheers, you always showed passion for the game, for my style of play, and I thank you very much for helping mold me into the man that I've become. Cheers to you all. Thank you for coming. Thank you for having me. Let's watch it go up. Cheers. Thank you all.
Chris Pronger, he's hilarious. It's funny moments like this that make you forget that he would take his stick and go up and down, attacking forward spines in front of the net like they were a drying rack, like a xylophone. Ring, ring. Yeah, but he says funny things sometimes, so that's a hat pick. For our next hat pick, this one was pretty obvious when it happened. Nobody tell Joe Thornton. Timo Meier scored 5 goals in a game.
Who gets a pat in the head right after that by Drew Doughty. Here's Burns back with it again. To the other side. Timo Meier scores!
Set them back on their heels right away. The San Jose Sharks do a terrific job. The key on this play right here is the movement by Brent Burns.
All-star teacher or two in your life?
Many. Mr. Gray is one that jumps to mind right away.
Saved by Quick, and now Meier scores again!
Now that's the easy thing to say, but where? Well, Timo Meier jumps in on the loose change.
When they haven't had the puck in their own end, I'm not sure. Here's Meier again, and he almost had a hat trick. He still gets after it, and he's got it. A first period hat trick.
It's one guy. It takes everybody. Balzers. Hurdle gets in. Look at the body position. Hurdle kicks it out to Meier. Meier continues on.
Tomas Hurdle.
Shoot that thing. You got Logan right there in the perfect position.
Far side, a rip by Meier. That's 4!
Man, oh man, this kid cannot miss. Takes the one step and fires it. Short side up top.
Final half minute of the second period. It's Hurdle. Across for Meier. Toe drag. He did it!
Holy mackerel. Great drive skate to the middle by Rudolph Balzer, but
it's not just that Timo Meier scored 5 goals in one game. And by the way, it bears repeating, Timo Meier scored 5 goals in one game. It's how he scored them. That little drag, that's not necessary, Timo. How dare you? I also want to point out that at the time I'm recording this video, the leading goal scorer on the Montreal Canadiens has 7 goals. Yes, Josh Anderson and Nick Suzuki tie for 7. Jonathan Drouin has 6, and Timo Meier scored enough goal in this game to be tied for 4th. Steve, that's picking on the Habs. I could continue. Phil Kessel, someone's going to pay a king's ransom for him at the trade deadline, and guess what? He has as many goals on the season as Timo Meier did in this game. He also has 21 assists, but we're going to ignore that part. No Phil Kessel slander here. He's had a good, he's on Arizona. 21 assists. When? Where? On whose goals? Who scored? Anyway, I don't need to slander another player or another team to big up the fact that Timo Meier got 5 goals in a game. Sharks history. That's a hat pick. Our next hat pick, I still remember the moment this guy was drafted. It was a first-round pick, and everyone was like, who the heck is that? If I remember correctly, he wasn't predicted to go until like 120th overall. Well, the Columbus Blue Jackets said, yeah, okay, that's nice, and they picked him 21st. Here's Yegor Chinakhov with one of the nicest goals of his career. Technically the truth, he's a rookie.
And Doryati Cody, and talk to them and just get a little insight on what made them so great, because Patrick Laine, having seen him up close several times, he has all the tools.
In front, Chinakhov, score! Yegor Chinakhov, second tuck of the night, and suddenly it's 4-0 Columbus.
Outstanding anticipation. The Canes get really concentrated in their D zone on the right side, and they allow Chinakhov to walk right down the, it looked like he just came here from Chapel Hill. Are you kidding me?
Absolutely nasty backhand toe drag.
You gotta love that about hockey. Like, that was an ugly play. Puck's bouncing around clunkily all over the place. Columbus getting it into the zone. Carolina sorta clearing it. Puck goes off a leg, and Chinakhov, in the blink of an eye, turns it into a Datsukian Dipsy Doodle Dangle around the whole Hurricanes and Frederik Andersen. My goodness. That's a hat pick. For our next hat pick, I saw some of you yelling that this wasn't like the first one that we showed in the video. It was very highly requested because it's unreal. Tyler Motte.
Highmore comes in for Vancouver. Now Motte, he scores, what a goal! Tyler Motte put it between the legs and roofed it past Vasilevsky. How about that for a skill move from Tyler Motte? And the Canucks are within 1.
And you can see Vasilevsky, he's not liking it. But that Braden Point breakaway becomes even bigger now with Thatcher Demko making the save, and now Tyler Motte getting the Canucks within 1. Fourth line, both goals for the Canucks. Lammikko and Highmore creating the turnover, and Tyler Motte just couldn't get the puck all the way out to the forehand. And so does the dipsy doodle through the skates, through the legs. Boom. Would have been hard for him to draw it all the way out on the forehand, so he goes a little shorter route.
Okay, so that's disgusting. But I'm going to answer a question that I'm already anticipating in the comments section because we've gotten it before. Enough players have scored a between-the-legs goal in the National Hockey League, especially over the last 2 or 3 years, that at some point, these sorts of plays are going to stop being impressive. And to that I would say, no, they're not! Okay, it's entirely possible, and let me explain why. There used to be no slap shot in the NHL. There was like one guy, a first guy, who decided to take a slap shot. And everyone was like, all right, the game's changed forever. Now everyone takes them. Well, today, more and more players can do this between the legs goal. You can even see Motte process it in real time, that not only is this something he can do, but it's the practical thing to do. I remember there was a time in hockey where players would be reprimanded by their coach for trying this stuff. Don't tell me I'm making it up. I remember it clear as day. Kyle Wellwood, Canucks legend, but this was back when he was with the Toronto Maple Leafs. He tried a between-the-legs goal. It almost went in, but didn't, and Pat Quinn was sort of quipping about it in the media. Pat Quinn, another Canucks legend, by the way. I keep talking about this in these videos, and I hope you're starting to see the trend. Players can simply put, do more than they used to be able to do. Chinnikov's goal, for example, I called it a Datsyukian deke. Well, why did I call it that? Because a guy named Pavel Datsyuk did it first! And if he didn't do it first, he was one of the first, and he did it best. The Forsberg deke, and I'm talking about Peter here, I've seen it happen and people don't even refer to it as the Forsberg anymore. They just call it a one-hand drag. It's just another move that players can do. And I'm not saying this to take anything away from Tyler Motte. I'm saying it so that you know you are watching the best hockey players ever. As a collective, this is the most talented hockey players have ever been. Their training is better, their equipment is better, they can do more things. That is a fact, it's not debatable. Yeah, but did you ever see? Yes, I did, they weren't as good. I'm telling you. 2022 put it up against any other time. This goal is a hat pick, and soon it won't be. And that's a good thing. For our next hat pick, the Columbus Blue Jackets' haunting of the Carolina Hurricanes continues. Chinnikov did it at one end of the ice, Merzlikins does it at the other.
Some space now for the Canes. Jarvis in front. Yeah, what a save, rebound! This has entered the building. 2 amazing saves to keep it 1-0 Columbus.
Incredible save sequence by Elvis Merzlikins. Oh my goodness, was that filthy. Elvis Merzlikins reads this play so well. Here come the Canes with their speed. Using their speed coming down the wing. But watch Elvis. Not 1, but 2.
Honestly, the second save is so good, it makes you look past the first one. Watch it again. Here it is, the Hurricanes have a 2-on-1, excellent pass, and oh my goodness, with the toe! Robbing the Hurricanes with the toe of the leg that he's pushing off of, into what should be an absolute tap-in for Ethan Bear, and Merzlikins robs them again. What a sequence, 2 10-bell saves, one right after the other. That is a hat pick. For our next hat pick, a few years ago, Marc-Andre Fleury made an expansion team very happy. In this clip, we see Marc-Andre Fleury making an expansion team very sad.
Top of the ring, Johansson. Goal line, Eberle. Here's a chance. What a save! My goodness, what a stop by Marc-Andre Fleury, robbing Jared McCann.
Wow. You're going to mark this save down right here. Eberle passing it across, but the windmill save from Fleury gets the glove over there. Right there, the saves like that is why he's had such a Hall of Fame career.
He has done that post-to-post move time and time again. And we'll see what happens here. But we're going to take another look at this dandy.
Wow, can you believe that? Marc-Andre Fleury robbing Jared McCann. It's just one Pittsburgh Penguins legend against another. You want me to take it? I thought it was funny. Do you want me to say Leafs legend instead? It's unreal that Marc-Andre Fleury can still do this stuff at his age, except it's not. He won the Vezina Trophy last year. How on earth did the Blackhawks get him for free? And at the trade deadline, they're going to trade him for a lot more than free. That, my goodness, is a hat pick. Staying with the Seattle Kraken for a second, Philip Grubauer, well, he was a Vezina candidate last year, and the Kraken signed him for a lot of money, and he has since gone on to have a very bad, no fun, awful time in his first and only season with the Kraken so far. They just got here. And this is another game where things aren't exactly going his way. The Dallas Stars are beating the Kraken 5-2. Joe Pavelski looking for a hat trick, but Grubauer draws the line there.
Resets, the Stars still on the attack. Pavelski settles, what a save! Grubauer lunging to his right, robbed the hat trick bid from Pavelski. 3 to go, and all Joe Pavelski can do is smile and a glove tap for the opposing netminder.
If you've seen the movie Slapshot, this is exactly what they show in the movie. Goaltender under barrage. Boy, what an opportunity here. This could be one of the saves of the year here. Watch as he comes back right there, gets the blocker. Oh my goodness, a little bit of a giggle there from Pavelski. Oh my goodness, he had to pull it down. The puck was on end a little bit, and that's why he didn't get all of it. And he's like,
That's another one of those saves where it shows that the hockey I watched as a child was in the 90s. It's not just that Grubauer makes that save, it's that he meant to do it! He wasn't just blindly hurling his body in front of the puck, he tracks that thing with his eyes and hits it with his blocker on purpose! Don't get me wrong, he was swimming like a fish a few seconds before this, but that is an unbelievable display of athleticism from Philip Grubauer. Seattle Kraken fans, I know you're new here, but that's a hat pick. And our last hat pick of the week, don't worry, I didn't forget it. Karel Vejmelka, maybe the only bright spot for the Arizona Coyotes this season. A goalie coming straight out of the Czech Republic. The first goalie I can think of to come straight from the Czech League and into the NHL. Has been a revelation for the Coyotes. He doesn't have very many wins this season, but the ones he does have like 40-plus saves in them because it's a shooting gallery in the defensive zone for the Coyotes. In this game, the Toronto Maple Leafs were out shooting the Coyotes 75-4 or something like that. Don't make me look it up, Drew. I've seen it once and I was sad. But Vamelka robbed the Leafs over and over and over again, over 40 times in this game. And this split save here might have been the best one.
Kasha for bunting, and his skates comes out. Hall with a shot off the glove of Vamelka. Looking for the loose puck. Oh! There! Kasha was coming in. Vamelka in the split.
He gets his right pad on it, and the Maple Leafs get closer to the net, which you have to do. I didn't think they were close enough in the first. This wouldn't have happened if Vamelka gets that right in the webbing of the glove. That's a save I'm talking about. And this is one of those plays where you can hurt the old both knees right here. This has got two MCLs written all over it, but somehow he manages to keep it out. Widespread stance from our AT&T 5G net cam, and then super.
I gotta think that's the perfect outcome for Coyotes fans during a Coyotes versus Leafs game, because you got to see Austin Matthews score. He did get the only goal in this game, but also the Coyotes won. But man, Matthews could have had a hat trick. A bunch of Leafs could have had a hat trick in this game, but Vamelka stood on his skull and brain. What a performance. That is a hat pick. So, what'd you think of this week's edition of Steve's Hat Picks? Leave a comment in the comment box down below. If we forgot any of them, Blues fans, I'll let you go first. But for now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell your friends, specifically tell your dad and uncles the thing I said about hockey in 2022, just to piss them off.